Mic check, 1 2 1 2. All right, welcome everybody. Al King, live at 5. Welcome, welcome. We are getting set up right now. Okay, 1 second. All right. All right, it's been an interesting day today. I can absolutely say that. It's been a testimony to what they say about Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. I want to give a quick shout out to Mr. Robert Frazier, who I see is live in the office right now. And we'll be waiting to see if anyone else drops in. I'm going to get started here in just a few minutes. I just need a few minutes here, and we're going to get this call started. But yeah, while we're waiting to get a couple things set up and waiting for a couple folks to drop in just in case, this is our second live at 5 call that we're doing for 1mlm system. This is going to be a weekly call, Wednesdays, right around this time, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where we hope to share some information that will be, beneficial to our team, and will help all of us grow. Let me make sure that we don't have any funny background coming through. Give me 1 second. Check the sound here. And I'll tell you guys a little bit about why we're having some challenges here, because I think this can be useful to anyone out there. One of my mentors told me this, that whenever you decide to go after something, the universe will test you to see if you're serious about it, to see if you really want it. And I see it time and time again, not only in my own life, but in the lives of people who I sponsor into this industry. As soon as someone gets started with me, generally speaking, they have an obstacle or a challenge. Like it never fails. And generally the ones who are with me a year from then are the ones who overcome those challenges. A lot of people, they let the challenges overcome them. And today I've had all sorts of challenges thrown at me. Knowing that I have to do this call today here at 5, there are all sorts of things that happened this morning that pushed my schedule around. Just now I had to move my call from a location where I wanted to do it at to another location. Just had to boot a computer up and install Hangout so I'll be able to broadcast. Several challenges, you guys. Folks calling me who want me to do stuff right at this moment. And even down to the very last second, you guys, I'm starting to call, and all of a sudden I'm hearing background noise. There's a fire down the street. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. It's Murphy's Law. And it's one of those things that we have to understand if we want to be successful in this world, in this society. There are going to be challenges. There are going to be obstacles. And those obstacles are mostly going to come at you when you're trying to do something. Okay? And if you know that going into it, you'll spot it. Okay? As soon as you try to do something that's going to help move your life in a positive direction, obstacles pop up right then and there. And that's your test. Are you going to overcome the obstacle, or is the obstacle going to overcome you? Right? That's always the key ingredient and the key question. And so here we are today, live at 5, and we're about to overcome some obstacles. I have a set topic for today. I actually was hoping to have Mr. Robert Frazier on as a guest speaker here. I was going to bring him up right about now to share a few things. However, he's in the middle of some important finals with school. It is that time of year. Lots of people are graduating from and taking finals. Some people have kids, and their kids are graduating. It's prime time, so there's a lot going on this time of year. So again, highly appreciate Mr. Frazier for finding a time out of his day here to be with us. And for anyone else that happens to drop in spite of the challenges and obstacles that they may be facing, because that's what it takes, and that's who we're looking for. We're looking for people who are going to overcome whatever is happening in their lives. That's who we want to build with. That's who we want to make this team grow with, because those are the only people that we can grow with. Those are the only people that are going to be able to take on this challenge of blending multiple streams of income and focusing on the team and on the system and really understanding what that means. And that's really what I want to do with these live at five calls, is make sure that our leaders, because that's all who we think are going to show up, have their conversation right when they're talking to people. And so we're just going to go right into the main topic for this week. Next week, Mr. Frazier will be on, and he'll share some insights with all of you. And so for this week, let's just get right into the meat of what I wanted to talk about, and that is the importance of a list. The importance of a list, and this is going to feed in to everything that is going on. When I get done with this call here, I'm going to send this out to my list. I have several lists, names of people who I've captured from doing several internet marketing ventures. People who have expressed interest in hearing about how they can make money with me. And the list, as we say in our industry, that's where all the money is. The money's in the list. Now don't confuse that with this other saying, the fortune is in the follow-up. But they're really tied together. There's a reason that those two sayings are so prevalent. The money's in the list. That's where the money is. That's where most of your money is going to come from your list, from the people that you're in communication with. Okay, and I'm gonna get deep into your list here on this call. I want to try to keep this concise, but I still want to make sure that we hit this so we all understand this. Okay. Most of your money is going to come from your list because the fortune is in the follow-up, right? Which means that the people the people that you're talking to, if you follow up with them, that's where most of your sales are going to come from. When we're talking about sales in general, the general rule is that people don't buy the first time that they see or hear something. Okay, so if we translate that to MLM, if we bring someone to a meeting, back in the old school days, or if we show someone a video in the new school days, it doesn't mean that they're going to sign up right away. It does not mean that they're going to jump right away. In fact, the majority of people that you show a business to are going to fall in what we like to call the green category. The way I learned it, it just made sense to me, is to look at red apples, green apples, and rotten apples. Some people are ripe. They're already ready for a business. They're already looking for something. When they see a business, they're ready to make a decision. Some people need a little more time. Okay. In fact, most people that you talk to are going to be green apples. They're going to have a lot of questions. They're going to have to do some more research. For example, there are several people who are talking to me about gold, and I've been looking at gold for a while. I'm not ready to make a decision there, right? So I'm green in that category. As I see more and more information, my mind gets made up slower and slower, and when I reach a point where I'm ready for it, then I'll be ready. And this is just a process that happens with every single human being, every single topic, especially business. So if we're first and foremost understanding these two things, these two principles, the money is in the list, and number two, that it is extremely, extremely important to make sure that we are constantly following up with our list. Okay, that is where the fortune comes in. That's how the money is made. That's how those two old adages are linked. So let's talk about building your list. Okay, this is probably one of the most basic fundamentals in network marketing, but so many of us don't do it. We want to have a list. You want to have a piece of paper somewhere, a pen and pad, where you're jotting down notes and names of people that you're talking to, people you have talked to, so that you can have an idea of who you need to follow up with. There is an area of our you know what, we're actually updating the members area now, and so I might need to migrate it over. But we have a accountability PDF. And I'm gonna check just to make sure that those links are still live in the members area. But this is a great checklist for you to sort of run your business. It really kind of helps you keep an idea of how much activity you're doing that leads to production. Well, sort of the same idea is in place with your list. You should have at least some way of keeping track of who you've talked to, how many people you've talked to, and then specifically what they've seen. Have they seen a presentation? Have they talked to a mentor of yours, to a business partner of yours? Have they seen the training? Have they, have they had a chance to really think about, multiple streams of income versus putting all their eggs in one basket? And all of these things, you guys, should be part of your conversation with your list. Okay, so number one, you should always be building your list. You should be creating your list, building your list. Number two, you should be keeping track of your list. Okay, following up with your list. The names on your list have to mean something to you. Okay, these can't just be random people. All right, relationships is where it's at, and a lot of it has to do with you understanding who your people are. You should know which people on your list would be interested in a certain kind of business versus who wouldn't. And this sort of takes me back again to the old school where we used to talk about friends and family. A lot of the new age gurus really rule against friends and family, and they say, don't talk to your friends and family. All of these new age principles, but really and truly, that's wrong. You see, the thing is this: each of us, we differ when it comes to our relationships, right? So depending on who you are, some people have really good relationships with their family. Some people can actually go to their friends and family with a business, and they have friends and family who are open-minded, who are interested in partnering up. And so for them, this isn't a very intelligent strategy where you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money going out trying to build relationships and build trust with random people. You can go to your friends and family. There are others who don't have that type of relationship with their friends and family. They don't have friends who they can take a business to. They don't have family that they can take a business to. So this is not one of those, and there's so many areas like that in MLM that isn't so black and white. It's not so simple, right? What is simple is that you have to understand the relationship. That's what matters. That's what's important. The people you have a good relationship with are going to be more likely to buy from you and more likely to partner up with you in a business. So when it comes to your list, these aren't just names. These are people. You and I have to value people. We have to value people. We have to think about them and what they're interested in. In fact, everyone's already tuned into that radio station, WIIFM, what's in it for me? So you have to dial into each individual's person radio station in order to really communicate with them and to be able to draw them in to where they can at least start the process of looking at what it is that we have for them, right? Real quick, because we have so many videos that cover it in depth. The recruiting process, it's age old, it works forever. Step 1, approach and peak interest. Step 2, invite to a presentation. Step 3, follow up and close. Step 4, training. These 4 steps are so important. And so as you're working with your list, a lot of that is pre-recruitment, right? As you're building relationships, that's all pre-recruitment. And I'm just talking about your most basic list. And I want to sort of dive into this now and sort of make it a little bit more value rich for you, because I want everyone to get something out of this. Once you start making your list, now you can start taking your notes and detailing who goes on which list. So now you might have several lists, right? You have your general list of everyone. These are what I like to call your prospects, okay? And again, we have tons of training on it. Everyone's a prospect, everyone in the world, because when we talk about a prospect, that's someone that might be open to making some money. That's just about everybody, okay? Everyone's a prospect, but not everyone's a lead. Okay, a lead is someone that's interested. So a prospect, again, you can go talk to everyone on your list and now figure out who's open to making money and who's not, right? So now you can separate the people from all the people that you know, everyone on your list of people that you know, because this is who your list is. This is your Rolodex of contacts. You're a networker. You need to be networking. Once you have decided and figured out which ones are open to making money, and specifically open to making money with you, they go on a new list, a list of potential partners. These are your leads list. Now, out of your leads list, again, we were just talking about the apples. You'll be able to separate your reds from your greens from your rottens, because maybe you find out someone's open to making money, but they really don't want to make money with you, and they really don't want to sell anything that you're selling. They're talking against what it is that you're doing. Now, this is so important for you to understand. As you're growing your team, as you're growing your business, and especially as you're working with your list, you want to remove the rotten apples. Anyone who's negative, anyone who's not helping you, you have to remove them because they are a negative force. Okay, they are going to be working against you as you are trying to succeed. If we've all heard that, saying, one rotten apple spoils the bunch. You don't want to keep a rotten apple around too long, right? If you have people on your teams who are complaining a lot or just aren't participating, even lack of participation, it just looks bad. It's negative. They've gone rotten. Go ahead and remove them. This is something that we do here with Top Networkers Group all the time. We're constantly pruning our tree. If you look into gardening, you will see that this again is a principle that gardeners understand that if they want their trees to grow and stay green and healthy, they have to remove the dead leaves. And so you want to do this with your lists as well. Okay, you want to constantly sort your list. That's the word you want to write down. Sort your list. So make your list, sort your list. Figure out who goes into which category, and now this sets up your conversations with the people on that list. And again, that's important. That's why I'm telling you, you got to know who these people are, because your conversations are going to be different with each person. There's nothing worse than someone approaching me with a canned script, because now I know that they're just shooting it to everyone. They really don't care about me or my well-being. They're not connecting with me on any level whatsoever. They're just sending out mud to see what sticks. You're throwing it all on the wall. What sticks? Okay. And I personally don't like being treated like a number. And there are so many people out there who feel the exact same way. And this is why so many people are struggling to recruit, because they're treating people like names rather than treating people like people. See, I want someone to come to me and say, you know what, I was looking at Top Networkers Group. I like what you're doing with Top Networkers Group. Are you open to looking at something else that might go with your system? See, if someone approaches me like that, I'm more likely to look at what they have. Okay, I might not add it in, but I'm going to look, because at least they're showing me that they took the time to find out who I am first, right? And this is one of the things that we teach you through our training videos. Again, make sure you're watching them, that you want to get to know prospects. One of the best ways to really recruit someone is to simply talk to them about themselves. Age old again, if you take interest in other people will take interest in you. Okay, so keep that in mind as you're prospecting, okay, or networking, as you're talking to people, as you're getting to know people, and as you're sorting your list. Keep all of this stuff in mind, okay, that your people are not just numbers, they're not just names, they're people. They have feelings, they have wants, they have desires, they have ups and downs. Some of them have education in certain areas, they have skills. So find out who your people are. That will help you with recruiting them. That will help you with knowing what to say. Because again, all we can really do is get a person in front of a business. Once they look at it, they're going to make their mind up. Either they're going to have some questions, right? And if they do, that's good. Or they're going to want to get started, which is good. Or they're going to say, oh, no, I don't know about this, which is good too, because it lets you know what bag they go in. Okay, so again, that's just the first part of what I want to talk about. Now, I want to keep these short, so I only have about 10 minutes left to really close this thing out. Lists have expanded. Now we have so many more ways to create lists rather than just writing folks' names down. Most of us are on social media, okay? Let's face it. If we have 2,000 friends or 5,000 friends, that's a list. If we have a fan page and we have people that are liking our page and are following that page, that's a list. If we're on Twitter and we have people that are following us, that's a list. But again, you're going to have to sort that list. You're going to have to get to know these people. So when all these gurus are running around talking about max your Facebook out, go for 5,000 friends, I've never, gotten on recording and given that type of advice, because I feel that you should be taking the time to get to know the people that you've added, because that's how you're going to figure out who you can actually work with and who wants to work with you. So don't max your profiles out at 5,000, right? If you got 2,000 or so, that's fine, because there's some things that you'll be probably doing with your Facebook, and you want some exposure, and you do want people who are coming to you. You do want to take part in some of the attraction marketing, putting things out that will bring folks to you. Yes, you absolutely want to do that, but you also want to keep your list manageable to where you know who some of these folks are, and the more the better. Don't limit yourself, and get away from limited thinking. Don't say things to yourself like, "Oh, I can't remember people." Your words and what you're saying has so much power. And if you'll just simply change that sentence to, what, I can remember, I am an abundant being, I can do all things. Have some confidence in yourself. Build that confidence up through your wording and through what you're thinking and saying and speaking, and you'll increase your abilities, you guys. So okay, so keep that in mind as you're using social media, that these are all lists. But more importantly, hopefully you're using what's known as lead capture pages. And this kind of goes into some internet marketing. A lot of internet marketing is simply based on the old school. They're taking all the old school principles and they're using the internet and technology to sort of speed it up, what we like to call speeding up the time frames. Okay, so again, the old school, you write a bunch of names out on a piece of paper, you call everybody up on the cell phone, you pique interest, right? They're asking what it is. You do a three-way call in order to raise the odds of them showing up to a meeting, which they have to drive to. Now they get exposed. This whole process used to take about a week, right? Now we've condensed it. We've gotten it to where we've condensed the time frames, and because of the internet, because of technology, because of the speed of technology, we can now share a business almost instantaneously. And so what used to take a week can now be done in an hour if we do it right. If we just simply approach someone, pique their interest. Once they say, what is it? Or, yes, sure, I'd like to make some money. Now you get them in front of the info. Now, once they look at the info, you've got someone that you can follow up with and close and find out, hey, did you like that? Did it make sense? Can you see yourself getting started? Just by asking these closing questions, they're going to help this person make their mind up. And then lastly, you want to get them in training. You can always tell who's really on your team based on who's in training. If you have people that aren't in training, they're probably not in your business. If they're in training, they're in your business. So that's how you know. That's why that's why it's part of the recruiting process. But again, with internet marketing, all they've simply done is they've taken all of that and they put it online. So now you get sent to a web page. The landing page piques your interest. It says, do you want to hear about this? Do you want to learn about this? If so, put your email in. Folks do it. Now they're on the email list to be followed up with. But immediately after they put that email in, they're usually sent to a presentation where they're presented with the info, and immediately again, they're on a list so that whether they get started right then or not, there are going to be some follow-up emails coming out. Did you see the presentation? Did you like it? Are you ready to get started yet? We're doing this now. And again, the further out that follow-up goes, for those of you who are creating follow-ups, you want to keep in line with old school thinking. Start sending out emails that talk about upcoming events, that talk about training, that keep people in the loop, because that's why they're on that list. If they unsubscribe from the list, great. They're off your list. All right. If they stay on the list, great. Someday they might make their mind up when they're ready, they're going to be thinking of you. And some of them are already getting to that area. They're ripening up. And so they're on your list, they're on your list, they're on your list, and finally they make that decision to go ahead and get started. So again, this is a powerful tool, the follow-up, right? The fortune is in the follow-up. And having an email follow-up strategy as part of what you're doing today makes sense. Okay, it helps automate some of your efforts, because you can't really get on the phone and call every single person, especially if you're doing a lot of prospecting and putting folks in, right? You want to have a system in place. Now, naturally, of course, we've thought of that. We do include Stifort. It is our program that provides you with an email follow-up. It also gives you a way to make money sharing this ideology and these tools with other people. So again, it's a $50 fee to get started with Stifort. It's one time. From that point forward, it's $10 a month, so it's very affordable for everyone. And again, it's an awesome compensation plan on the back end. And we've merged it in with our 1MLM system. It's one of our streams of income. It's important that you learn how to do this stuff, that you embrace it. Now, of course, there are other email follow-up softwares that you can purchase, and that you can use. Again, it doesn't really matter who you go with, or even if you have more than one. What matters is that you're following these principles, that you're continuing to build your list and sort your list. Build your list and sort your list, you guys. I want to thank you for dropping in to the live at 5. We've done it, right? We've overcome all the obstacles that tried to stop us. We got this call in, and again, as you can see, the phone is ringing at the end because we went ahead and took care of what we were supposed to take care of on the front end, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and let that go to the voicemail. But again, you guys see, that's how it works, right? Keep it in mind as you're pursuing your dreams and goals that obstacles will appear, right? But if you'll fight through the obstacle, you'll get through it, you guys. You absolutely will. We've had some obstacles while growing this team. That's fantastic. That lets us know that we're up to something special. And again, thank you all for being here. Shout outs again to Mr. Robert Frazier, because I do see you in the live office. We're going to actually replay this right now. So if anyone wants to at least invite guests in to get a replay, then they can do that. If you're a guest and you want to learn more about the 1MLM system, there are links at the bottom of this page. Okay, you'll want to go to the watch the presentation link and check it out. It's 30 minutes long. If you don't, have 30 minutes now, then do it later. But you want to actually look at what we're talking about, what we're doing. We're offering folks a better way to make money in this industry. And we're looking to grow a team the right way with leadership who we're, establishing right now. We're putting our leaders in place right now. And through this small circle of leaders, we're going to grow a network of thousands, and we're going to change the world and do some absolutely special things within it. You guys, again, thank you for dropping in. My name is Al King, CEO and founder of Top Networkers Group. And again, it's my pleasure and my privilege to have conducted this call live at 5 for the 1MLM system. See you back here next week with special guest Mr. Robert Frazier speaking and sharing some of his insight. Someone who is an up-and-coming leader in the industry, someone with an awesome background. I can't wait to tell you more about him next week. Live at 5, you guys. Thank you again for dropping in. See you next week.